one of the key areas that concerns me a lot and that pains my heart is the issue of the infrastructure, the facilities, the sports grounds, the arts hubs, and those recreational facilities that are in a very dilapidated status. Hence, when the Premier make mention of those particular areas, I was glad, because I have been trying to engage with the municipalities, as those particular facilities are under the watch of the municipalities, and the budget that comes from the national department goes straight to the municipalities for them to look after those particular facilities. However, it has been a struggle to get to understand each other, and now that the Premier has managed to mention and say something on those particular areas, I am glad as the department, because at least now we can be able to say we are waiting for a certain time. There must be a time frame, and there must be a discussion between ourselves and the municipalities around those particular facilities.
The Eastern Cape is obviously deemed the home of legends, and what does make us legendary just outside of the leadership space is obviously sports as well as arts and culture. I mean, we even saw the young man who so gracefully introduced the Premier Wamkhahlela in such an unimaginable manner that even I as an adult cannot do. Now, in trying to cultivate, young talent is in the sporting fraternity and the arts and culture space, do you feel like there are measures that the Premier has put in place to make sure that those programs continue?
Well, yes. When we talk about the areas of development, you will remember that the province will be hosting Steve Tshwete Games soon here in Buffalo City Metro, and that is one of the key strides that the Premier is trying to put in place so that we can develop and uproot the organic talent that is on the ground through those particular big tournaments that we offer. So you may somehow I am not satisfied, but in some of the areas the Premier did touch on, including the issue of the frontier wars, because as the province we have a responsibility to preserve our heritage, and in preserving that we cannot ignore the fact that the freedom fighters, the kings and the chiefs that were here before us years ago fought for this province in trying to defend the land from the colonizers. So when he touched on the 9 wars that were fought in the province, I was happy and satisfied.
MEC Ngongo, it is an absolute pleasure having to speak to you. Thank you so much for sparing us your time, and we hope to see you in future.
Thank you so much, Buti. Enjoy.
That was the MEC for DSRAC, the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture in the Eastern Cape, who's a very familiar face on this platform, having addressed many issues about our space, the creative industry.
The Voice Lounge, where voices come to life.